RHOBH police called into Mauricio Umansky's family drama. The police have been called in the family drama involving RHOBH star Mauricio Umansky. He has been dealing with his father, Eduardo Umansky, and his well-being. Sadly, it keeps taking drastic turns that are unexpected. So what has happened this time around? Keep reading for more details. Police called into Mauricio Umansky's family drama. Mauricio Umansky is dealing with his marital issues as he and his wife, RHOBHOG, Kyle Richards, called it quits. They split after nearly 30 years in July 2023, and it has played out on their respective reality shows. Mauricio had 2 seasons of Netflix's Buying Beverly Hills, which has since been axed. That picked up where Beverly Hills left off when it came to his 4 daughters dealing with the familial separation. He has since moved out of the home he and Kyle shared and is now dating philanthropist Nikita Khan. They have traveled and are living their best lives. Sadly, back at home, the real estate mogul doesn't just have his marital drama to deal with. He also has issues with his father, Eduardo's longtime partner, Simon Tabibnia. She allegedly has been taking advantage of Eduardo and holding him hostage from his children. Mauricio and his sister, Sharon, filed to be conservators of Eduardo's estate. Sharon also filed a restraining order against Simon, claiming that she had been aggressive with her. She was granted a permanent restraining order where Simon must stay 100 yards from Sharon. This will go until 2029, but it was apparently not enough. According to In Touch Weekly, the police were called due to the situation involving Simon. Mauricio Umansky's sister, Sharon Umansky Benton, was forced to file a police report, though it is unclear what Simon did to warrant this. Sharon did request that charges be filed against Simon. The siblings have been working tirelessly to protect their dad, who is 81. He worked with Mauricio in real estate, but they believe Simon was feeding off of him and his money. More drama. Mauricio Umansky's sister has Simon coming after her, as well, though that is likely not to bode well. Then he is in hot water for a federal lawsuit brought against the agency for greed. He has worked from the ground up to build his business, which has been documented on RHOBH, and may have been the cause of his marital problems. Kyle Richards was ready to slow down in life, stop drinking, and work out. That was not what Mauricio was looking to do just yet, and they struggled. The latest drama unfolding within the Umansky family has taken a turn that no one saw coming. Police were called into a chaotic incident that left even the most seasoned Real Housewives of Beverly Hills fans shocked. Mauricio Umansky, known for his calm demeanor and polished reputation, found himself at the center of a family dispute that escalated far beyond what could have been imagined. It all started at a family gathering at the Umansky estate, which was meant to be a simple dinner to celebrate a milestone in Mauricio's career. As usual, the lavish dinner was filled with laughter, delicious food, and discussions about business and family life. But something seemed off that night. Tension simmered in the air like an electric current waiting to explode. Kyle Richards, Mauricio's wife of over 2 decades, seemed distracted, her smile not as bright as it usually was. The couple had been through a lot in recent months, but they always prided themselves on being a solid unit. However, whispers about trouble in paradise had started circulating ever since their appearance on RHOBH, and it appeared that the stress was finally starting to take its toll. Mauricio, on the other hand, was uncharacteristically short-tempered. His usually calm, charismatic persona had been replaced with a sense of agitation that no one could ignore. Even their daughters, who had always seemed to exude a sense of maturity beyond their years, exchanged uneasy glances throughout the evening. Then the unexpected happened. During what seemed like a harmless conversation about business affairs, things took a sudden and dramatic turn. Mauricio's brother-in-law, a successful entrepreneur, made a comment about Mauricio's real estate empire, claiming that the business was no longer as successful as it once was. Mauricio, usually known for taking criticism in stride, visibly bristled at the remark. The tension in the room escalated rapidly as the two men exchanged heated words. At first, it seemed like a typical family squabble, a misunderstanding between two people who had been close for years. But when the situation grew more intense, Kyle intervened, attempting to defuse the situation. Her voice quivered as she tried to mediate between her husband and her brother, but it only seemed to fuel the fire. Mauricio, his face red with anger, snapped at Kyle in a way no one had seen before. He accused her of always siding with her family over him and accused her of being distant in their marriage. His words were sharp, cutting through the tension like a knife. For the first time in their marriage, Kyle was visibly shaken. The room fell silent, and even the staff who had been serving the guests paused to observe the confrontation. Mauricio, realizing the scene he had just created, stormed out of the room, leaving his wife and family behind. At that moment, things took a drastic turn. Kyle, desperate to restore order and protect her family, followed Mauricio outside. But the situation continued to spiral out of control. Mauricio's anger didn't seem to subside, and Kyle, emotionally drained, tried to calm him down. But the more she tried to reason with him, the more hostile he became. It became clear that this wasn't just an argument. It was a deep, unresolved issue that had been brewing for a long time. In the midst of the chaos, Kyle made an alarming decision. She called the police. As the sirens echoed in the distance, the situation took on a surreal quality, as if the once solid foundation of their relationship had cracked open and revealed something neither of them was prepared for. The arrival of the police officers only added to the tension. Mauricio, now realizing the gravity of the situation, tried to explain himself, but Kyle, overcome with emotion, was unable to hold back her tears. The officers, trained to handle domestic disputes, kept their distance, observing the family dynamics closely, but offering a calming presence in the midst of the storm. They spoke to each individual involved, trying to get to the root of the problem. "I never thought it would come to this," Kyle sobbed as the police officers stood by, listening intently. "I don't know what's happening anymore. We've been through so much, and now this." Mauricio, meanwhile, was still seething, the hurt from the argument with his brother-in-law still fresh in his mind. The police had to intervene more than once, asking Mauricio to step away and take a breath. The tension between the couple, which had been building for months, had finally reached a breaking point. As the police assessed the situation, they made the decision not to press any charges. But the event left an indelible mark on the Umansky family. The once picture-perfect marriage, which had been the epitome of Hollywood success, now seemed fragile and full of cracks. In the aftermath, both Mauricio and Kyle were left to process the night's events. Kyle, exhausted and emotionally drained, sought solace in her friends. She confided in Lisa Rinna and Dorrit Kemsley, who had always been her support system through thick and thin. The two women expressed their concern for Kyle, offering advice on how to handle the volatile situation. Lisa, with her sharp wit and blunt honesty, told Kyle, "You need to take a step back and really figure out where you and Mauricio stand. This isn't just a one-off argument. There's something deeper going on here." Mauricio, meanwhile, took time away from the family to reflect on his actions. He met with his therapist and spent hours journaling, trying to understand the emotions that had taken over him that night. Was it the pressure of his career, the strain of being in the public eye, or was it something within his marriage to Kyle that had gone unresolved for far too long? Whatever the cause, the aftermath of that evening left both of them questioning what the future held. The police intervention, which once seemed like a dramatic spectacle, had become a turning point for the couple. It was clear that they had a long road ahead of them if they were going to repair the damage done that night. But one thing was certain: no one expected the Umanskys, the picture-perfect family at the center of RHOBH, to be caught in a family drama that would have police sirens echoing through their Beverly Hills mansion. The upcoming season of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills promises to delve into the aftermath of that fateful night, with Kyle and Mauricio's strained marriage becoming a focal point of the season. Fans are left wondering if the couple can weather this storm, or if the rift between them is too deep to repair. Only time will tell, but for now, the Umansky family is in the midst of a very real, very public crisis, one that even the most dramatic reality TV moments couldn't have predicted.